Alright guys, welcome to the Meet Damian live stream. I am Damian, and today's live stream we're going to try to do something a little bit different. We're actually going to, we're going to look at the price of Bitcoin first, but I want to actually take a look at if we can do some day trading here on MEXC exchange here. I want to enter some trades if I can, either a short or a long on Bitcoin, and then maybe a short or a long on the price of gold. But I see we already got some requests here. I do see that you guys put in those requests. I see Kuddy Kush was asking for a Big Bear AI, and Jay Shareem was asking about Iran. And those requests, I want to take a look at those requests. After I get into a trade here, I am a little bit anxious to get into a trade. Well, I'm actually already in trades right now, but I want to get into another trade with you guys here on the live stream. So, just show you what it's like trading on MEXC exchange. I know we usually trade on WEEX exchange, but I want to do something different today. I want to show you guys what it's like to trade on MEXC, which is another cool exchange to do your day trading with your cryptocurrency futures here. And MEXC actually has silver futures, which WEEX doesn't. So maybe I might get into a trade on silver right here in front of you guys. But we'll figure that out. First, we're gonna do. Let me just get the screen down here, but. First, we're gonna do the price of Bitcoin. We're gonna see, what Bitcoin is doing here on the daily time frame, and then we're gonna see, are we gonna go up or go down? We'll go into the smaller time frames. We'll try to figure out, what the direction might be here for Bitcoin. It's been a little bit choppy today. We saw Bitcoin drop as low as like 87K, but like now here we are at 89K. And I think my friend Porky in the Discord was saying that, now that Wall Street's no longer around, they closed up shop for the day, maybe we can actually go up in price. So maybe we should be looking for longs to try to make some money on Bitcoin right now. And then we gotta figure out, how far we're gonna go up in price here on Bitcoin. So if we are going to be bullish here on Bitcoin, right? I mean, the area to actually go for a long was in the 87K area. This $87,500 level here. There's a level that has acted as support and resistance in the past, and it's actually, if I turn on the VRVP indicator, it's right where that point of control is at. Over the last few months here, the majority of people have been buying and selling Bitcoin at 87,500, so that's why I got that marked on the chart. It is the highest volume node here on the VRVP indicator here. But there's also some other high volume nodes to be looking out for, and the next one I think of serious concern here is 90,500. Has acted as resistance before, has acted as support as well. 90,500 is where Bitcoin I think could go next if we're going to continue being bullish here, and then maybe we get rejected. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for shorts for Bitcoin if we do get to 90,500. I already got that ready to go. It could happen while I'm looking at another coin or another stock here, but I got a short here, and I also would like to short Bitcoin at 91,400 for my day trading here. That is another high volume node here on the VRVP indicator here, and you can see that's also right where this 21 EMA, this white line that's curving down now, sitting at 91,400. It's right where this high volume node's at. So I'm either going to try to short at 91,400 or 90,500 and see how that goes. When I enter a short, okay, or when I enter any trade here on Bitcoin, I'm using like 40x leverage for most of my Bitcoin trading, and then I like to put the stop loss about $500 away from the entry. So if I'm going to short Bitcoin at 90,500, I'm going to probably put the stop loss at 91K, okay? And if I'm going to short Bitcoin at 91,400, I'll probably put the stop loss at 91,900 in that area. And I'll just see, either it's going to hit and then it's going to catch and bring us down, or maybe we push past 90K and we go up to 91K and I get stomped out of my 90K short, and then I enter a 91K short. Okay, and that's the next area that I would like to short Bitcoin for a long-term swing trade play here, where it's a day trade, but it's gonna be like I'll be in it for a few days as I try to see if Bitcoin goes from 91K back down to 87K, or maybe even go further down to this 84K, which is another high volume node here, area that we should be looking out for, and also the value area low here at 85K, 85,200. So you know, you would short the tops, you know, and then you long the bottoms. So if we do come down to 87K or even 84K, I want to be looking for longs where, you know, like a long-term long where I'm in it for more than one day, and I can see if, you know, Bitcoin comes back up to 90K again and try to take some profit on the longs. So I actually do have a long, but I hopefully didn't get stopped out because I did move the stop loss on it. I do have a long on WEEX exchange, okay? And I want to see if that long will play out to the upside where if we go up to 90K, I want to take some profit on that long, and I want to take some more profit at 91K. So if you're already in the long on Bitcoin, congratulations, you probably made some money already. But you probably want to take some profit at 90,500 and 91,400 because those are the high volume nodes here on the VRVP indicator, and this is where the majority of people have been buying and selling Bitcoin at these various price points here where I put these red lines at. That's why I got it marked on the chart here. If I get rid of the VRVP indicator here, you're going to see that those lines still stay there. Okay, those are the lines that we're trading. These are the range levels here that we're looking for, right? You would obviously long the bottom, long support, and then you would take profit at resistance and maybe enter a short at resistance. Okay. So let's look at the momentum indicators and see what Bitcoin's going to do on the daily time frame here with the momentum. We can see that the momentum here, the MACD indicator, is showing that selling pressure was pretty strong last week, but now it's kind of dying off here. It started dying off on Monday and Tuesday here. And if we continue seeing selling pressure dying off, then yeah, we're going to probably see Bitcoin back at 90K again and maybe even higher. Okay? So we're paying attention to this for the long-term, you know, bird's eye view on our day trades here. That Bitcoin might want to go up rather than down. Okay? Now, we could get a fake out where selling pressure starts increasing again tomorrow. You know, if something bad happens with the Federal Reserve, if they decide to raise interest rates or whatever, you know, say something that the market doesn't like, then, you know, we can see selling pressure increase, and this could be a fake out where we start seeing selling pressure increase, and that's not going to be good for, you know, Bitcoin, because then Bitcoin will probably go down to like 87K or 84K. All right, but right now the trend is heading up on the daily time frame, so we got to keep that in mind for our day trades here. And then here on the market cipher B indicator here, we got a green buy dot that came in saying that today's a good day to buy Bitcoin. Last time we had a good day to buy Bitcoin was January 12th here, and then we had a red sell dot here on January 17th, which, you know, was your hint to get out of Bitcoin, take some profits or whatever, so you can avoid the mess, you know, where we drop down in price. This is a good sign to see, and if money flow, you know, which is in the red right now, if money flow starts curving up and goes into green again, then we can expect higher prices here for Bitcoin. All right, higher than 89K right now. Okay, so we want to see that. And then, you know, if you're still using this indicator here, when you see a red sell dot, that's probably a good time to take some profit on your Bitcoin longs or cryptocurrency longs and just get out, because usually when a red sell dot comes in, it means the price is probably going to come down. Like last time we had a red sell dot, you know, was when Bitcoin was at 97K. So I'm sorry, wait, no, actually no, was that when Bitcoin was at 95K. So what, you know, when Bitcoin was at 95K, it was trying to give you the warning that, you know, the momentum is going down, the price is going down. Okay. Also, another thing to keep in consideration here on the daily time frame, using the moving averages, you can see the 200-day, the 100-day, and the 50-day. That's the red lines, the 200-day, the blue lines, the 100-day, and the green lines, the 50-day moving average. We've already seen in the past that the 50-day moving average has acted as resistance back here when we got up to like 97K on January 14th. If we were to continue climbing up on Bitcoin, I would expect that 50-day moving average to act as resistance. Now, I said 90K and 91K is where we're going to try to look for some shorts, see if that plays out. However, if Bitcoin continues pushing up past 91K, then it looks like the 50-day moving average could act as resistance at 94K, and that's also another high volume node here that I marked off on the chart. 94,500 is an area where Bitcoin can go up to, and then I would try to take, for sure, I would try to take some profit at that area and maybe look for a short as well. Okay, so let me just turn on the VRVP indicator, and you'll see that there's a little bit of high volume here at 94,400. So that's another area that you should be marking on your chart here to figure out, you know, whether or not you're going to take some profit on your long if you're already in a long, or maybe you might decide that now's a good time to short Bitcoin at 94K. Okay, so that's something that we have to, you know, keep in mind and mark that on the chart. I already marked it on the chart. This is helping me out with my day trades here. And speaking about day trades, when I day trade, I do like looking at the daily time frame, but I start looking at the 1 hour time frame to figure out what's going to happen in the next few hours. The next 12 to 24 hours is probably going to be determined on the 1 hour time frame, what's going to happen next. So on the 1 hour time frame, we can see that we're coming up on some resistance here from the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame at 89,253. Okay, 89,253. You can see that we've already dropped down below it. We're at $89,000 right now. And this is going to act as resistance until it's no longer acting as resistance. So I think, you know, right now, the best you can hope for is, you know, going sideways at 89K. But we might, you know, immediately start coming down again to lower prices now that we hit this 200 moving average. I guess a better case would be if we actually push past this. But usually we have to, usually when we hit the 200 moving average 1 hour time frame, you get a little bit of resistance and you go sideways or you go down. Very rarely do you push past it, but if you push past it, then, you know, if you haven't taken profit on your long yet, I would definitely take some profits on longs. If you see this thing, you know, continue and disregard the 200 moving average, it will immediately probably come back down again and retest the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. So that's also a possibility, but it looks like we might just get something like this where let me just erase that. But we might get something where we just go sideways and create like a bull flag here, and then we launch up to higher prices towards that $90,500 area. So that's what I think is going to be a problem here for Bitcoin, unless it's not a problem. If it's not a problem, then we'll just go right to 90K. Yeah, for sure. But this is going to be a problem for now on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. And if it's a problem and we do come down, we do have some other moving averages below us that could act as support. We got the 50-day moving average, that green line at 88,400, and then we got the 21 EMA at 88,200. So, you know, if you're interested in shorting Bitcoin right now, you could put a short right now, put your stop loss below the high of this 1 hour candle at 89,450, and then you can try to take the short all the way down to this 50 moving average at 88,400. Or 88,200 at that 21 EMA. Okay. Maybe you decide to take partial profits and you decide to actually continue on down and see if you could actually take full profit at 87,500, which we already visited a few times here. You know, we were here at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We were down here at 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern time. So, you know, an idea is if you short Bitcoin now, take partial profit at that 50 moving average or the 21 EMA, then take the rest of the profit when we actually get down to 87,500, and that could be your take profit target too for Bitcoin if you're day trading it right now. So now that I mentioned that, I kind of want to get into a short on Bitcoin if I can. I believe I already shorted Bitcoin on WEEX exchange, but maybe I can do it on MEXC as well. Let's take a look at the trades here on WEEX real quick. See how they're holding up here. My Bitcoin long that I was in is now in the negative right now, and my short on Bitcoin, I shorted Bitcoin at 89,200 and up about a couple of bucks, up about 2%. It's a 40x leverage short with about $105 of margin. So I guess I really don't need the short Bitcoin unless I want to just double down on the bet here. But I already identified that this could be a problem area, and I entered that short on WEEX. So maybe I might look for something else. Maybe I might want to try to short silver or gold or something else. Stay Flexing Injure says Iren. We actually had another request for Iren. I believe Jay on YouTube over here requested Iren. So I guess we'll have to take a look at Iren at some point here. All right. So that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. Let's look at the momentum, right? Before I finish off on Bitcoin. Let's see, are we actually going to go up or down using the momentum indicators here? Momentum indicators, MACD is showing that buying pressure is increase on Bitcoin. So my short on Bitcoin might actually get stopped out. If we continue with the buying pressure on the 1 hour time frame and it increases, we got this 1 hour candle will close in like 15 minutes. But if this, if this candle closes with buying pressure still strong, then we might see Bitcoin climb up towards the end of this live stream here and later on tonight. Like, look at that right now. We just jumped up to 89,100 right now. Market Cipher B is showing money flow is actually increasing on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so I do have a Bitcoin long that's kind of in a negative right now, but it might actually start going into green again if Bitcoin is actually going to push up to like 90k or 91k here. And then my Bitcoin short's just going to get stopped out. Hopefully at a, should be at a small loss, at a calculated small loss that I already calculated. But I see here on the 1 hour time frame, money flow in the green on Bitcoin, even a green buy dot. If this money flow was to start turning down and going into the red, and then we get a red sell dot here on the 1 hour time frame, then that probably means that my short's going to play out, and then I could probably either cancel out my long or just let it get stopped out. Okay, so that's something to take in consideration here. So it looks like Bitcoin might want to go up rather than down, at least later on tonight, at least according to what the momentum indicators are showing here. Ralph Ray says, good day, what's your strategy? I actually was doing scalp trades today, trying to and I'll show you what I was doing earlier today. I was trying to buy the low for the day. So in this case, we saw Bitcoin drop, right? But I was trying to buy long Bitcoin here at 87,500, which I already marked on the chart, and then I took profit at the 1 hour 50 moving average, this green line here. And then we came back down to 87,500. I tried to long again. We didn't actually hit 87,500, but once we got close enough, I tried long it again, and it didn't really do much this morning. And then it kind of hit 87,500 again, and then I was able to take profit one more time for the long once it hit the 50 moving average. And then we immediately came back down. I was able to enter another long, believe it or not, and then watch this thing climb right back up to that 50 moving average one more time. And I took profit again. And then I was expecting Bitcoin to come back down, and then here on this last hour at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we just started jumping all the way up here. We just, I guess according to my friend Porky, Wall Street decided to call it a day on their selling and allowed the retail buyers to actually start buying Bitcoin and pushing us up to this 200 moving average. So this 200 moving average is now going to be the problem for now. But if we push past the 200 moving average, then I expect 90k, 90,500 to be the next level here. So that's what I was doing. I was doing some day trade, scalp trading ranges right now. Lorraine says, whoa! Silver is jumping up again. Oh boy. Let me go grab, I've been sick this week, guys. I gotta grab a tissue. Just give me a second here. I'm back with you. Well, silver is jumping up and so is Bitcoin. So it looks like Bitcoin is trying to catch some bids here as well. But let me just quickly look at silver. Silver at 112 bucks. Yeah. Is that the high for the day? I mean, I thought we saw silver go higher than that. Yeah, we seen silver at $117 earlier this week. And it went up to 113 earlier today, but looks like we're about to break the highs for today. Currently, silver is trading at $112.75. So yeah, we're near the highs for today. But yeah, let me go into Iran because that was a request here. And like I said, this stream wasn't really going to be much of a request stream. This was going to be like a day trading stream. I wanted to day trade gold, silver, and Bitcoin if I can. But I don't know, if you guys got a banger of a trade, let me know, and maybe I decide to do one of your trades as a copy trade here. Anyways, we're looking at Iran because that was a a requested coin that came up more than once. It came up twice here. I got a guy on TikTok asking about it, and a guy on YouTube asking about it. Let's look at the daily time frame. I think the reason why you guys might be asking about it is because IREN is up 14% today. So that's a decent gain here. Wait a minute. Are we looking at IREN on the NASDAQ? Or are we looking for IREN? Is this like a cryptocurrency? No, it's a stock. Okay, so you guys want to look at a stock here? Okay. I already done chart work on this stock here. We've seen IREN get as high as like $76.87, which is where I drew the Fibonacci here at 77 bucks, and I took this all the way down to the last swing low at $14. I think was where IREN was trading at back in August of last year. And it gives us these Fibonacci levels to look out for here. We've already dropped down below the golden pocket. We dropped down to as low as the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement at 38 bucks for IREN. It actually almost came down to the 0.236 here. Got front run before we even hit the 100-day simple moving average here. Been making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And looks like you're kind of on your way to making a higher high again. I would expect IREN probably to get some resistance at $63 here. That's your 786 retracement, which you can see that we did a little bit of sideways trading at that level there. Just a little bit, not too much. But I would think the Fibonacci traders would try to take some profit on their longs here for IREN. And let's see. Let's pull up the VP indicator, see if it agrees with any of these levels here. Interestingly enough, you do have a value area high sitting at this white line at $65.95. So I think once we get into the 60s, which I mean we're only kind of right there already, but once you get up to like 63 and 60, we'll just say $66, anywhere between $63 and $66 should be an area to take some profit here, because we don't know how we're going to handle ourselves. Most likely when you get up to a value area high, you get rejected and you come back down, and you might retest the POC here at this blue line at 47 bucks if it's going to be a deep retracement. But I think we could hit the value area high at 65 bucks here, come back down, maybe retest the golden pocket at 55 bucks one more time here, which you did some sideways trading this week and last week. And then we launch back up and try to push past $65 on our way to $77 here. So I think that's what we'll see for IREN. But before I, give you a prediction and a target price and whatnot, let me just see what the momentum is. Like, do we have the momentum to actually continue going up to higher prices here for IREN? Looking at market cipher B, you have money flows in the green. Money flow is starting to curve down, so I don't know. It's a little bit of a caution there. However, you did get a green buy knot today. So maybe money flow will start increasing again one more time on the daily time frame here. So I think you're okay for prices to go up, but you can see that the selling started here back here on January 20th. And then here on market site, on the MACD indicator, you do have buying pressure was pretty strong through the month of January. And looks like buying pressure was starting to die down, but now you get this green solid candle that overtakes this light green candle. It's kind of like a bullish engulfing candle here. And you could see buying pressure start increasing out of nowhere. Just because it starts dying down doesn't mean it's going to actually die. It could give up one last fight here where we see buying pressure start increasing again one more time. Kind of like right over here, you saw buying pressure die down and then it increased again. That might be going on right now, where buying pressure is dying down and then it starts increasing again. And the moving averages on the MACD, you can see that the signal line is this orange line is still trending upward, and the blue line is still trending upward. If we were to start topping out, you would see the blue line start curving down first, and then the orange line would curve down, and then the blue line would actually cross the orange line to the downside. Kind of like right over here where you see the blue line curve down and then cross the orange line to the downside. And when you see that, you'll see selling pressure start increasing here on the daily time frame. But you don't have that yet, so I think IREN could go up rather than down in the next few days here. You got the momentum indicator saying that that could happen. You got market cipher B saying that could happen, and then you got the MACD, moving average convergence divergence, is saying that it could continue going up here in price for Iran. All right, and I think 63 is what you're looking for, and then of course 77 is your next target to the upside. All right. Lorraine says, turn the music down. I did turn the music down, Lorraine. How's the music sounding right now? Is it good on YouTube and TikTok? Lorraine is one of my moderators, so she's always here looking out for me, making sure that people are behaving themselves and that live stream is running smoothly here. I think the music sounds good. The volume sounds good on YouTube. Kitty Kush says, Iran, NBIS, CRWV are all data centers and they all pump today. Do you know why that's the case? Or maybe you don't know why that's the case, but is there any news headline that came out that just caused all the data centers to start pumping up in price? I gotta see how did the NASDAQ and S&P 500 do today? Let's see. I'm looking for. Where's the NASDAQ? Where are all my stuff here? Oh, there we are. So Dow Jones was actually down today, 0.83%. S&P 500 was up today, and NASDAQ was up 0.91%. All right, that's interesting. So I'm not sure why the Dow Jones went down, but the other two indices went up. Okay, so Kitty Kush just thinks this is a well-timed, well-due bounce. He says that it was only a matter of time before they started bouncing up again, for the most part. Alright. Lorraine says the music and volume sounds good. And thank you, Lorraine, for liking the live. Guys, go ahead and like the live stream if you haven't done so already, especially if I'm going over your cryptocurrencies and giving you this free technical analysis. You know, it is free unless you guys want to give me a gift here on TikTok. I can't really do anything about YouTube. YouTube hasn't monetized my channel yet. But if you feel compelled to do so, you could go jump over to TikTok and give me some gifts. And that's one way to skip the line, because if you guys give me gifts and you tell me you want me to look at your cryptocurrency or stock, then I will skip over whatever I'm doing and I will look at that stock or crypto and then go back to the regular scheduled programming here. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the price of silver. And then Lorraine wants to look at XAUT, which I think is tracking the price of gold. Alright, so let's look at silver, because silver is kind of like doing some crazy stuff today, isn't it? Yeah, it's up like 7% today at 112 bucks. And don't mind me, guys, I'm just wiping my nose because I still got a flu. A man flu, as Lorraine would like to call it. Price of silver at $112, up 7% today, up 8 bucks. And I already drew a Fibonacci on silver. Looks like silver got up to 117 bucks and then immediately retested the 786 retracement at $102. Yeah, we did that all in one day here on Monday. Only to then create a bullish engulfing candle that's gonna try to push us probably to higher prices here for silver. And if silver is going to continue to go into higher prices, we do have a 1272 Fibonacci extension that says silver could hit 136 bucks. This is so damn crazy. I remember I bought silver coins and silver bars for like $14 an ounce back in 2020 when COVID-19 came out and crashed the economy. It was trading at like $20 at the time, and then it dropped to 14, and I was like, hey, it's down 25%. Let me take advantage of that. And then I sold my silver coins and bars last summer at $34, thinking like, hey, you know, I doubled my money. I should probably sell and take profit. Not knowing that we were going to go exponential here on silver. Like, I knew we were probably going to go higher, but I also needed the money for last summer. So, you know, you got to make do with what you do, right? By me selling my silver, I didn't have to sell my crypto. And then I ended up selling my crypto last fall, so you know, I do take profits. I do take profits when I got them. But anyways, back to silver. We could see silver go up to 136 bucks. Does silver have the momentum to continue doing that? Let's look at the market cipher B indicator. We are overbought on the market cipher B indicator here. You're above the red horizontal bars. These are the overbought bars. Okay, if it was on the other way, this is like an RSI indicator where you got oversold over here, and that's the green telling you to buy. Right now, this is telling us to sell silver, but I mean, it's been overbought for a while now, all throughout like November and December, and now January. So could February be the same thing all over again while we're heading up to 130 bucks? I think market cipher B indicator is not really doing us justice here, because even if you look at the green and red dots, it's like buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. It's like Christmas over here in December. Same thing here in January. It's like sell, buy, sell, buy. Okay, right now the last dot says buy. So I guess, you know, if you're really worried about taking profit on silver, when you see a red sold out here on the market cipher B indicator, you know, take some profit. I don't know if you guys have any silver bars. Maybe you're trading silver futures or silver contracts on the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. But when you see that red sold out, you know, you could take some off the table, take some profits on your longs on Bitcoin here. I mean, on silver. I'm so used to saying Bitcoin. And then here on the other momentum indicator, and this would be the MACD indicator, buying pressure is fine, and not only that, it's increasing. So like, things might go exponential here on silver. We might see $130, and that was a target to the upside. The daily time frame is saying that we can do this. There's another target to the upside where we could see something hit $161. I think that would most likely be a good area to take a short, because if that's the case, then I mean that means I think silver was at like 20 bucks, 20 or 25 bucks at the beginning of 2025, and you're about to hit 160 bucks. That's like a 8x gain right there. Let's see, in March of April of 2025, silver was at 28 bucks. In January of 2025, you know, silver was at like 28, 29 bucks. So we started like, you know, we started at 28 bucks for 2025, and then here we are starting 2026, and silver's at 112, and it could possibly go to 160. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. That's insane, and I would definitely take some profit at 160 bucks if I could. But I sold my silver last year, so what am I gonna do? I can only do silver futures. All right, let's see. I'm trying to catch up on the chat here on TikTok. See what you guys are saying here. Lorraine says, "Am I taking the trade this evening?" So Lorraine, I actually am already in a Bitcoin long and short. I might be interested in trying to do something here with silver. My Bitcoin long is now down 11 bucks here, down 10%, and my Bitcoin short is it's up 1%, not really doing much, and that's still expected because we said like Bitcoin could go sideways once it hits the 89k. It hit the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, so I think that's what, you know, Bitcoin's doing right now. Silver, let's see what silver's looking like on the 1 hour time frame. Oh man, silver. Silver, what have you done? What can you do for us next? Silver is above the 200, 150, and the 21 EMA, just being extremely damn bullish. And I would probably look to long silver at like 107, 108 bucks if it actually goes down there. If it goes below this 21 EMA, right now you're above it. And maybe you might break above. I don't know. Things can get crazy and ridiculous out here, especially when you know, there's like a mania going on here with silver. We have seen silver get up to like 117 bucks here on Monday afternoon, yesterday afternoon. Maybe that might be an idea to take a short. If silver just starts jumping up to 117 bucks before this live stream is over, I'll take a a short at $117, but I don't know. Do I want to take a long or do I want to short right now? Shorting is an idea, you know, on silver. And just putting the stop loss above these 1 hour candle wicks here at 113, 114 bucks is where I could put a tight stop loss on a short on silver, and then maybe I can ride this all the way down to like 105, 106 bucks, take some profit there, and maybe flip it into a long, and then try that one more time where, you know, silver goes from 106 back up to 112 again. That is an idea. I want to see what the momentum's like. The momentum is showing here on the MACD indicator that silver could get a breakout right now, actually, because the selling pressure is dying down. You got a little bit of buying pressure here, and I think this is a brand new candle here, and you got this possible MACD crossover to the upside. So maybe shorting is not a good idea for silver. I actually want to jump to the 15-minute time frame, see what that's showing here. Buying pressure was increasing here on the 15-minute time frame. Now it's kind of dying down a little bit. Maybe that's to allow me to actually enter it along here on silver. But buying pressure could start increasing again on the 15-minute time frame. But if it doesn't, then maybe I could. What I could do is whatever I plan on longing. If I was going to long, you know, silver right now, I could buy half now and then see what this buying pressure is going to do in the next hour. And then maybe I could buy at a lower price if the buying pressure goes down and starts going into the red here on the 15-minute time frame. That's an idea. That's an idea here. So maybe long in silver, buying half now, and then maybe buying half when it gets down to like this, you know, moving average below us at 109, 110 bucks. I can long again and just see what it does after that. But I would probably have to put the stop loss below the moving averages here. Below maybe this 200 moving average at 108, 107 bucks here. Let's see what the 1 hour time frame showing. Oh, the 21 EMA is at 110. So maybe I would play the 15-minute time frame here because you got some moving averages to look for here, and I can just put a stop loss on a long at 108 bucks or 107 bucks. And yeah, maybe it does come down here. Maybe it goes down, pushes, and stops me out. But I would like to maybe long here on silver at 112 bucks and then try to long again at 110 bucks and then put the stop loss at like 108 or 107 bucks and see, you know, I usually do stop losses really tight on my day trading here. And what I'll do now is I'll actually plan this out. Like if we're gonna long right now and put our stop loss at $108 here, you're risking about 3%, 3.6%. And then we were going to try to take this up to the previous high at 117 bucks maybe. So at 117 bucks, right, we went to 117.73. So 100, let's say 117.50. You're risking 3% to try and get 4%. That's not good. No, that's not really a good long to take because your risk reward ratio is 1.3. You want a risk reward ratio of at least 2. 3 would be better. Okay? But a risk reward ratio of 1 is just, you're risking almost as much as you would make. And it's just not worth taking. The odds are just not that good. You're taking on too much risk to try and get, you know, very little reward. What would be better is if I try to wait a little bit here. Maybe silver comes down to like 110 bucks. And if silver does come down to 110 bucks here, and I put my stop loss at 108, my risk is now, I'm risking 1.8% on the stop loss to try and get 6.8% on the reward here. And now the risk reward ratio is 3.74. That's a worthwhile trade to take. And then for you guys who are doing, you know, leverage trading, you could put like maybe a 20x long, where if you do 20x long, you're risking about 36% to try and get 136%. That's not bad. So 36% of your margin could disappear on you. whatever margin you use. But you could double your money if it just goes up to 117 bucks. But you gotta buy it in at 110 bucks here for silver. So I think that's what I would do here, Lorene. If I was to enter a long on silver, I want $110, and I'm gonna keep the stop loss tight at 108 bucks. Hopefully I don't get stopped out. If I do, it's whatever, you know. I could try to look at it again later on tonight and try to maybe enter it again if I want to. But I have to look at the charts again to see if it actually makes sense to try to long again. But my target would be $117 on silver, and that could happen later on tonight going into tomorrow. So I think the 15-minute time frame is the time frame you want to be looking at for silver. You're going to look at the buying pressure, see if if the buying pressure continues to die down and go into the red here, then you know you'll probably see $110 and you'll get filled on your long, and then hopefully your stop loss doesn't get hit, and you could get into that long with a tight stop loss. If not, maybe you try to buy in again at 108 bucks or 107 bucks. And if you do that, if you get in at 108 bucks here on silver, put your stop loss relatively tight at $106, and you're targeting that $117 area one more time. Now you're risking 1.8% still to try and get 8.7%, and your risk reward ratio is 4.7. So that's some ideas here. Like maybe buy silver when it gets to $110 and then buy some more at $108. Put your stop loss relatively tight so you're not risking too much, and then try to see if you can hold on to it till it goes to $117 later on tonight or tomorrow. And we got Matty Ghost in the chat. I see you, Matty Ghost. Matty Ghost, what are you trading right now? Right now I'm in a Bitcoin long and short. And the short is in profit, but the long is not. But the long, I would like to see if I can hold on to that until Bitcoin gets up to 90K. But I'm interested in long and silver here, but I'm gonna have to wait. I can't get into it right now. I don't think right now is a good time to buy silver right now. Maybe later on in the next hour or two, I can long silver. Sure. Thank you for following me here on TikTok. Sir says, how do I buy and sell on the moving averages here? Well, I like using TradingView here for my chart here for the moving averages. And you know what we could do is, you know, you watch the moving averages. You have to put in your moving averages here. So this indicator here for the 5 moving average indicator, if I go to settings here, I have like 5 different moving averages I can put. I usually put the 200 moving average as the red line, the 100 moving average as the blue line, the 50 moving average as the green line, and the 21 moving average as the white line. And then the inputs here is like 21, 50, 100. I don't really do 150 and then 200. So I usually click the 150 off, and I usually stick those moving averages right there on the settings. And you just go over to your indicators here on TradingView, and you can type in 5MA. I believe it should show up, right? Or maybe just type in moving average and see what comes up. And wait, where is it? I have to dig through it, but I know I saved it under my favorites here. Yeah, so moving out. Ooh, where is that? It's not showing up here on TradingView. I'm sorry. I wish I had that right off the bat here, but I can't find the 5 moving averages strategy. But if you type in 5 MA or 5 moving averages, it'll give you 5 moving averages to work with as part of one indicator. And you can just put your settings in for the different moving averages here. 200, 150, and the 21 EMA is what I usually do. Lorene says, can I check the euro? You want me to check the euro? And Maddie says he's in Axie Infinity and silver. Are you long in both of them, or are you shorting Axie Infinity and Silver? And don't mind me, I'm sick, guys. I'm still sick. That's why I got this tissue. I just gotta wipe my nose. I'm sorry. Hate doing that, but whatever. It's better than having a runny nose. Ali Khan says something about Ethereum and Zcash. Is that a request for Ethereum and Zcash here? I know Zcash was having a pretty good day. It's had a pretty good couple of days here for Zcash. Let me go look at the euro here for Laureen. She did put that request in just now. The euro versus the dollar. We'll look at the daily time frame. What is going on here? Okay, the euro versus the dollar is catching some bids here. On the daily time frame, we see that at least for today, it went up 1.3%. That's a lot for just a currency, right? Currencies aren't supposed to be moving that much. Yesterday, it only went up 0.45%, then 0.61%. I think what's going on here, Laureen, it's a news-related item. The United States is selling. The United States Treasury is selling their dollars to go buy some yen because the yen is actually going up, increasing in value. I'm sorry, yen is actually decreasing in value, which is causing the interest rates to go up over in Japan. And it's gonna, if the interest rates keep going up, it's gonna like undo all the work that the Federal Reserve has done to try to lower interest rates here. So I think what is going on here is the United States is selling their dollars to buy yen, and when they sell the dollar, it causes the dollar to go down in value, and anything that is valued in dollars, like the euro here, is going to go up in value. So that's why you got the euro going up. And also, Bitcoin is valued in dollars. Bitcoin's going up this week. What else? Gold and silvers, we've seen them make new all-time highs. They're valued in dollars. Even the price of oil, I believe, should be going up. Did the price of oil go up? Yeah, the price of oil is up right now at $62.73, up 2.8% today. So just about everything should be going up in value because of the United States selling their dollars to go buy yen right now. And that's because there's some problems going on in Japan right now. They're trying to fix those problems with the interest rates. I don't know what else you wanted to look at for the euro. This is going to be good for you, right? I believe you're in a country that has euros, right? So you can actually come visit me here in America, and it's not going to be that expensive for your vacation here in America. As long as the euro keeps increasing here. Euro was kind of like bullishly consolidating at like $1.16 here, and now you're getting like a run up here. We haven't been this high since like 2021, 2022. Actually, no, just 2021. May of 2021 and January 2021. So it's gonna be cheaper for you to travel abroad, Lorraine, because the euro is increasing in value against the dollar here. You said that your husband is in a euro trade right now, and could it go up some more? Well, let's look at the MACD indicator, right? Let's see what that's showing for momentum here. Buying pressure is pretty strong and solid, yeah. It looks like you could see that go up to higher prices. I don't have a target yet for you, but Market Cipher B is also saying that, money flow is flowing into the euro right now. Money flows in the green, and the momentum is to the upside right now. The one caution light here is you do have a high RSI at 77 on the RSI. That's this red number right here, but it's saying that 77 is RSI. Anything above 70 is considered overbought. So you could see this thing drop down. I'm not sure why it would do that, but it could drop down and maybe come back to the 21 EMA at the very least. This white line right here sitting at $1.17. Their currencies, they don't really move that much, but when they do, it means something big geopolitically is going on. But let's see. How much further could it go up here for the euro? I'm gonna pull up a Fibonacci here. I'm gonna measure from this high from where we are right now to the lows down here in 2025, where we saw the euro as low as like $1.02. It's showing a 127 Fibonacci extension where we could see $1.25 for the euro, and then the 1618 is $1.32. So there's some targets for your husband right there. $1.25, which is 5 cents above us right now, and then $1.32, which is like 12 cents above us right now, is where the euro could go. And I have to zoom out and see, have we ever been to $1.32? I believe we have for the euro. Oh yeah, we definitely been. You know, back here in 2008, we saw the euro as high as like $1.60. And then what? 2009, $1.51, $1.49 here in 2011. I'm looking at the monthly chart. I'm actually looking at the 3-month chart right now to get all this data. But over time, we make lower highs. So maybe Europe can celebrate right now for a stronger euro versus the dollar, but over time it seems like it does depreciate in value. It's been doing that for like the last couple of decades right now. So this might be a high water mark, and then who knows what's going to bring the euro down. This could be various things. Maybe, you know, I've heard like some countries in Europe are about to go into a recession, and if they do go into a recession, then that's going to cause the euro to go down. Yeah. So that's for the currency traders out there. And if the euro does go down, let me go back into the daily chart here. But if the euro does go down below these moving averages, that could provide support. You know, we could see $1.16 here for the euro. And then we also got the Fibonacci golden pocket at $1.13, $1.14. So $1.13, $1.14, $1.16 would be a good area to start buying some more euros if that's what you want to do. And Matty Ghost says he's longing Axie Infinity and he's longing silver. How is silver doing? Because I was going to try to get into a long on silver if it goes down to 110 bucks here. Yeah, silver's just hanging out at $112. Not really doing much here. Let's see what the 1 hour time frame is looking like. We're just chilling right now on silver. We did get up to like $113 early in the hour here. Maybe, you know, if silver starts climbing up to $117, then you know what? It was a nice idea, but I'm not going to chase that trade. Because at any point, it could just drop down on me, and I don't want to get stopped out and lose money again. Wow, PAX G's at $5,200, and gold's at $51.80. I think we did see that gold was catching some bids earlier this afternoon, but it looks like around like 3 p.m. Eastern time, gold just decided to jump past $5,100 up to like $51.80 here. He went up 77 bucks around 3 p.m. Eastern time here. Whew, man, wow. Lorraine says they're not letting you comment about silver on MEXC. I don't know why that's the case. And thank you, Abel, for following me here on TikTok. And let me see, what else did Lorraine said here? You said that hubby's take profit triggered and then it shot up more, but at least he got a profit. Yeah, you can't be mad about taking profit, getting profits. So you're not going to lose money if you're making profits on your trades. TikTok taking it away immediately. What is TikTok? TikTok's taking out. Is TikTok taking away your comments about silver here? I don't know why TikTok does these things. It's like, let's not forget that TikTok is still owned by the Chinese government. And if things are not playing out in their favor, if they think silver going up is bad for China, then they're going to shadow ban us. Maybe I shouldn't really say that because, well, you know, I gotta speak the truth a little bit here because they do some things here where they start doing restrictions. They restricted my live stream on Sunday And I didn't even say or do anything. They just restricted it because I wasn't saying or doing anything. They just said, oh, this guy's being boring and he has no music playing and he's not shaking his butt and showing his chest here. So we're going to restrict him until he does something like that. But no, I did a collaboration stream on Sunday night with Porky Flounder 65. And we were trying to figure out the collaboration stream because that was the first time I did a collaboration stream on TikTok, and I was like trying to figure out the buttons on TikTok Studio and stuff like that. And I guess TikTok's like, these guys are boring, they're not playing music, and they're not saying anything, so they just restricted me. Yeah. And when they do that, it lasts for like more than one day. So like, but I did a stream yesterday, and like TikTok wasn't even sending people over to my TikTok stream. Even though I normally get like, 10 or 20 people on the TikTok stream, I didn't get that many people yesterday. And then also Lorene wasn't there, so I was already feeling a little bit depressed because Lorene wasn't in the live stream. But she's here now, and she's keeping it lively. Thank you, Lorene. We got up to like almost 8,000 likes. Maybe we can hit 10,000 likes here. And you know what? Speaking about, music not playing, I actually lost my music here on YouTube. Let me go ahead and play some more music here for you guys. Let's see. I think we'll listen to this one here. All right, so we got the music back up and running again. And for my YouTube guys, let me know if the music's too loud. I can always turn it down some more on my end here. Jay, yes, I will do APLD for you. Kitty Kush thinks it's loud. Okay, let me go ahead and turn it down a little bit more here. Is that better for you, Kitty Kush? Alright. So, I wasn't really able to enter any live trades here because I was already in a trade on Bitcoin. And I think Bitcoin is going to probably continue going up here in price along with the price of gold and silver. So that's fine because I'm already in a Bitcoin long as well. But yeah, let's look at the APLD in the meantime. I feel like every time I try and get into a trade, I don't see anything that's worth taking, and I'm already in trades that are already working for me. And it's like, well, do I want to get into another trade? Guys, if you see something right now that's worth getting into, like a long or a short, let me know. Maybe I'll just copy trade one of you guys here. I don't want to like do crazy leverage and do like a 1 minute time frame, like day live trade. But maybe I could do something like that where like, yeah, let's do 500x leverage on Bitcoin and see what happens in the next minute or two. Just wasting my money in that pace if I do something like that. We're looking at APLD. We believe we looked at this the other day, right? We looked at this yesterday. APLD actually got up to like that $40 level, right? Because that was like the level you were at back here in October. $40.20 was the high water mark there, and you went past that yesterday, and now you're getting a nice closing candle above 40 bucks. So you're looking fine and dandy to go to higher prices here on APLD, in my opinion. Here, if we just continue going up to higher prices, we got the 1272 at 47 bucks. I already mentioned that $47 is a level that you should take some profit on your APLD here. Then there's another target above you at $56. That's your 1618 for APLD. And I think we were talking about this yesterday on APLD, where we said the momentum was also good too to go to higher prices. Your RSI is not overbought. It's at 67. It's getting close to overbought, but it's not overbought yet. Your market cipher B indicator is showing a green buy dot that came in today. You had a red dot on what? Oh, Monday. Haha, that's funny. And that got canceled out by the green buy dot today. However, money flow is trending down. I want to see money flow stop going down. I want to see money flow go back up again. So this is a caution light here that, you should be considering taking profit. And I would think definitely take some profit if we go up to like $45, $46, $47 here for APLD. The MACD indicator showing that buying pressure was dying down, and then boom, buying pressure started increasing again. So we were worried about this a few days ago, where the blue line moving average was starting to curve down. But then you get this buying pressure that pushes you up again. Buying pressure pushes you up again, and the blue line did not cross the orange line to the downside. So you do not have a MACD crossover to the downside. So you're still alive. You're still alive and kicking here for APLD. I think APLD wants to go up to that $47 target there. Okay. And yeah, we did, you know, came up with the idea here that, you know, we could maybe bullishly consolidate and create like a bullish pennant here. And if this is a bullish pennant or a possible bull flag, I did mention this out here where this is, you know, possible bull flag here. And if we continue the trend, you just take this measured move, which is your flagpole. You put it on top of the flag here, where we could break out at 41 bucks right now. And it's saying that your target could be 58 bucks, which is confluent with that $56 target. So I think for sure you should be taking profit. Not financial advice. This is never financial advice. You can do whatever you want with your money. You can watch it go up and then come back right back down to where you bought it at. Or maybe even go lower. But like, I think it's a good idea if you're interested in making money and profiting. If you already have profit, you should be taking profit at $47 here. $56 is an idea too. And then $58 is your bull flag target as well. So I mean, this is saying 56, 58 bucks. You should click that sell button. If you're of the belief of trying to make some money here, you should try to sell when you see this thing get up to $58. And if it does that, from where we are right now, how much of a percentage gain is that? You'll be up 41%. Come on, man. You gotta. I mean, that's anybody in stock market world would be happy with a 41% gain. So if you go up to like 58 bucks, you're gonna be up 40% from where you are right now. That's a prudent area to click the sell button. Kitty Kush says, I think you should front run $60 a little bit, is what Kitty Kush is saying. Kitty Kush says there's some crazy bearish divergence on APLD monthly and weekly. Take a look at the weekly chart, see what the Kitty Kush is trying to say by that. If I can see that as well. And I gotta move this indicator back up here. Alright, on the weekly, possibly could be bearish divergence, but we just don't know yet because we haven't actually come back down. So we're still in the process of going up. We could maybe even do a double top on the RSI indicator here, Kitty Kush. But the highest on the weekly here shows a reading of about 83.75. Right now we're at 69. But I don't know if we're done going up yet. We could just keep going up to like 70 or 80, and then it's not really bullish divergence if we get back up to 83 here. So I think it's a little bit too early to say that, but let's look at the monthly time frame here. Maybe monthly time frame could show something here where, yeah, of course, we all know on the monthly time frame that APLD is at the highest highs that it's ever been. It's at all-time highs here, higher than what you did here in 2021 when this thing got up to like $34.19. So you are making higher highs on the price. However, RSI on the monthly time frame was ridiculous in April of 2021, where it was at 98.76, and you're not really doing that just yet here on the monthly time frame. So yeah, there is, you know, for now, there's bearish divergence on the monthly, but we don't know if we're done going up yet, because this could be like a low, higher high, higher low, and then we can make another higher high, and we're not done going up yet on the RSI here for APLD. So when you see this thing top out and then come down, then you can be like, all right, so there's the high, and then you're gonna have to readjust this, and then you're gonna have to see, is it still bearish divergence on the monthly, or did we actually make an equal high or even a higher high? It'd be ridiculous if we make a higher high than what we did here in April of 2021. We would have to go up to like 99 on the RSI for the monthly time frame. But wouldn't that be nice? Because if that happens, you'll probably see this thing probably go up to maybe not the 2618, but maybe the 3618. We could see, you know, if we see Applied Digital Corporation go up to $110, I think the RSI on the monthly would probably hit 99. Jay, you're welcome. I'm glad you appreciate the TA. Don't forget to share this YouTube channel with your other friends who are trading stocks right now. I'm pretty sure they could benefit from the technical analysis if they're interested in looking at the charts here. Would like to see some more people join the live streams here, and then you and your friends could ask me about these stocks here. Yeah. I don't mind talking about stocks or crypto. We also talk about gold and silver. We do it all here on the Meet Damian live stream here. Adred says, what about Ethereum? Well, we haven't looked at Ethereum. I'm assuming that's a request here. I did think another guy requested Ethereum or was talking about it, and then he also said something about Zcash. We haven't even looked at Zcash yet, but let's look at Ethereum right now for the next request here. We're looking at Ethereum currently trading at $3,007. Good to see Ethereum back at $3,000 again. That's gonna catch people's attention one more time. We'll go into the daily time frame here on Ethereum. Ethereum, in my eyes, is still bearish because you're below the moving averages here on the daily time frame. The 200, the 100, the 50, the 21 EMA is all above us, but you can use that as targets for your longs here. And I think the first resistance is going to be the 21 EMA sitting at 3,100, and then the next target is going to be $3,200, which is where the 50-day moving average is sitting at for the daily time frame here on Ethereum. Looks like Ethereum does get some support when it comes down to 2,800 bucks here, and there is another target here of like 27.45. And I got these numbers here for the red lines. I got this using the VRVP indicator, which is going to be this indicator off on the right, the green and red indicator. You got these high volume nodes here at 28.23. You can see like a high volume node, and I put a red line there. And then another high volume node here at 27.45, and I put a red line there. These were areas that I thought like Ethereum could hit if we were going to be bearish, and actually, take profit on the shorts at that level there for Ethereum. But if Ethereum's going to be bullish here, we can still use the VRVP indicator. I haven't really marked things up top here. There is a high volume node here at 3,030. And then another higher volume node here at 3,100. I already said 3,100 because of 21 EMA. So you have confluence here between the 21 EMA and the high volume node here on the VRVP indicator. Both saying $3,100 is a target to be taking profit on Ethereum long if you're in one right now. And then, then we got the value area high sitting at $3,200, and that's confluent with this green line. That's your 50-day moving average. So 31, 3,200 for your targets. Easy enough, right? It's very simple. It's like literally right on the button. 31 and 32 for your targets for Ethereum to the upside. And I already said downside targets. Well, downside targets, we could revisit the POC here at 29.29. That could be an area where you could, if you haven't entered a long on Ethereum, maybe you could try to enter a long there and see if this thing does bounce up to higher prices. Then you got the value area low at 28.98. So anywhere between like 2,900 to like 2,930 could be a good area to try to long Ethereum if you haven't gotten into that long yet. But we don't know. I mean, you have to drop another $100 just to get back over there again. But maybe you're interested in shorting Ethereum, because if you're interested in shorting Ethereum, you could take that short all the way down to like 2,930 or 2,900, take profit there. And then you could probably take more profit at 28.23 if we're going to push down that low. But since we're on the Ethereum daily time frame, let's see if we got the momentum to go to higher prices here, or are we going to go down? I gotta look at the MACD to get the direction of the trade here for the most part. Selling pressure is dying down. You can see these light pink candles coming in here. You see the blue line start to curve back up, and if the blue line continues climbing up, it's gonna get past that orange line. It'll be a MACD crossover to the upside, and you'll start seeing green buying pressure candles showing up here, like you did over here. Last time you had a MACD crossover to the upside on the daily time frame was December 27th. So, and we know after December, in January, we had a pretty good month here in January for Ethereum. I think Ethereum went up to like 300 bucks, right? So the momentum looks like we could go up to higher prices here for Ethereum. How high? I already gave you the targets, right? 31 and 32. That 21 EMA and that 50-day moving average. Those are your targets for Ethereum for a long here. Yeah, it does look like Ethereum's trying to be bullish here, Kitty Kush. I think everything is trying to be bullish because what's going on right now, the Federal Reserve is selling US dollars. The Treasury is selling US dollars to go buy the yen. And selling dollars causes the United States dollar to go down. And when the dollar goes down, anything valued in dollars goes up in value, up in price relatively. So Bitcoin's going up, gold's going up to new all-time highs, silver's going up to new all-time highs, price of oil is going up, unfortunately, and then cryptocurrencies are going up because they're selling the dollars and buying yen right now. Lamb Co says, what do I think is coming up to 10K? I don't think Ethereum's gonna hit 10K anytime soon. That's a lot. You're asking for a lot there. I'm actually worried that we're still in a bear market here for Bitcoin that started in October of last year. And I'm worried that we might be getting a relief rally that's getting people excited, like, oh my god, we are so back, we're so back. Like, you know, let's look at Bitcoin right now. Get rid of the VRVP indicator here. But everybody's like, oh my god, we're so back, especially when Bitcoin was at 97K, but like we got rejected off this 50 moving average here. And we made a lower high compared to the highs back here in November where we saw Bitcoin at 107K. If Bitcoin gets up to 107K like later on this month or next month, I'll go back to being bullish again on Bitcoin because that'll put you above the 200-day moving average. This 200-day moving average is at 104,800. If you get back up to like that price or 107K, I will be no longer bearish on Bitcoin and I'll be like, all right guys, hey, you know what? This was just a big buying opportunity, believe it or not. And this was the dip, this was the correction, and this might have been just a very short-lived bear market, and we're going to be going back up to higher prices here. But I need to see Bitcoin get up to like $105,000 for me to start singing along with the bulls that we are bullish again. Because right now, you know, looking at the charts, we've been making, you know, obviously the all-time high at 126K. Another lower high here in October. Another lower high here in November. We were starting to make some higher lows here, which was giving the bulls. At first, it was a relief rally, right? It was like, oh my god, we're done going down. At least we're going sideways, right? But then we started making higher lows, and yeah, we kind of make some local higher highs here. You know, we kind of went to 93K, then 94K, and then 95K, and then 97K. Okay, it was looking good, and all of a sudden, I think, wasn't it like this around the same time Donald Trump started talking about tariffs on Europe and trying to buy Greenland? Isn't it crazy how Donald Trump said tariffs on Europe, and we were right at that 50-day moving average for Bitcoin and got rejected? It's like you didn't even need to watch the news. All you had to do was look at the charts, watch the charts, and you got rejected. But usually what happens is like we're at the 50-day moving average, and the markets are like, all right, give me anything bad to hit that sell button, and I'll hit that sell button. And sure enough, Donald Trump said, oh, tariffs on Europe, and it sent us down. Okay, now what is kind of giving us, you know, the momentum to go back up again? Well, the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, I'm not sure which one, it might be both of them, but they're now selling dollars, and that's causing everything to go up. So we're having like an everything rally right now. But I don't know if we're going to get back above that 50-day moving average, because this 50-day moving average is now at 94,400, which is right where this red line is that I marked off on the chart, which has been previous resistance here, and it has been previous resistance here, and acted as support back here in November. But another reason why I got this marked off is because on the VRVP indicator, you can see that, you know, people have been buying and selling at 94,500. So if we do get one last hoorah rally here, I don't know if we can make it past 94,500. I think that's when you should start for sure entering a short, because you might see us go back to 87K or 84K one more time. And if we do that, that's going to discourage a lot of longs out there, a lot of long-term investors who are like, oh my God, can Bitcoin ever go above 100K? Every time we get up to like the mid-90s, we end up selling off. And I feel like that's what's going to end up happening here. And another reason why I'm bearish on Bitcoin in the long term until we get up to 105K is because if I go into the higher time frames, like the 3-day, and I look at the MACD here, MACD is showing buying pressure. It's just not good enough. Unless we start seeing increased buying pressure where we get dark green candles again, I am of the belief that we are going to continue the bear rally. I mean, continue the bear market. That this was probably a relief rally that turned into a suckers rally, which then turned into a bull trap, which then turns us into us going down in lower prices here. We need buying pressure to step up. Like, we need to get up to like 95K, maybe even 100K, and you'll probably see green candles, dark green candles here on the 3-day MACD here. I'm worried that the buying pressure is coming down, and the blue line's starting to try to curve down here too. And if we get a MACD crossover to the downside, it's going to be game over on this rally. All right. Last time we had a MACD crossover to the downside was here in October. We all know what happened in October, right? And we all know what happened in November, right? And that could happen again in like February and March if this MACD crossover happens to the downside on the 3-day chart. And then let me see, a 5-day chart. I think the 5-day chart shows that selling pressure is like kind of like dying off. Yeah, it was showing that selling pressure is dying off on the 5-day chart, which I mean, some people could probably say, oh, that's like the weekly chart. On the 5-day chart, you saw buying pressure dying down. Then you saw buying pressure actually showing like starting to show up here. So you got selling pressure dying down. You got the MACD flip to buying pressure. But the buying pressure is just not good enough. It's not like, it's weak. Like you got, like, look at this. Like you got a buying pressure candle, green candle, then buying pressure dying down. Buying pressure increased a little bit. But it's not like back here in May and April of last year where buying pressure was solid and in the green, and then buying pressure died down, and then it kind of increased again here in July. You're not getting that here in the 5-day. You're getting like, oh yeah, we have a little bit of buying pressure. But this could easily turn into selling pressure one more time, and that's what I'm worried about here for Bitcoin, is that, you know, we could just start rolling off a cliff here. But I don't want to get too bearish. I think, you know, what's going on this week is they are selling dollars, which is causing everything to go up in price, including Bitcoin and gold and silver and oil. And we're getting, you know, still a relief rally here for Bitcoin. Get into the daily chart one more time here. But yeah, I think, you know, the relief rally could get rejected at 94,400, which is that red line that I got over here. All right, let me get back in the chat. That was my little rant there. Kitty Kush says, I hope we go crazy tomorrow. You bought some NBIS and BBAI. Jay Shareem says yes. He says you should have bought some CoreWeave instead of Nimbus. If we go crazy tomorrow, are you going to take profits? Are you going to take profits on any of your stocks there? I took a little bit of profit on TQQ. I'm in like the Qs, triple leverage ETF. I'll show you right now. I got TQQ on my watch list here. On the daily time frame, TQQ is up 56, up at $56.54 right now. TQQ is, you know, it's high, you know, for this week, but we have seen the highs back here in October, where that was the high. Like the highest high was like $60.69. If we go up to like $60, I'll probably take some more profit on TQQ, because you just don't know what's gonna happen next. You should try to sell, right? The whole point of what we're trying to do here is sell high and buy low, right? Buy low, sell high. Easy to say, But for some of us, because of greed and because of fear, we're unable to do that when it comes to trading and investing. But, you know, using the charts here, we're able to become a little bit better at removing our emotions and actually selling when things are actually high. And I just think, you know, TQQ obviously is high, the NASDAQ high, right? But like, what happens, you know, if we get a geopolitical event that causes the NASDAQ to crash, or if we get a recession or something, you know, like, are we gonna go up? Because, you know, I could sell high, and then, yeah, maybe we come back, make a higher low, and then we push past and go past where I sold it at, and I can always buy back in again with the cash that I raised by selling what I thought was the high for, you know, the year or this cycle. But if we're gonna go higher, I can always buy back in again. So I don't know. I'm just asking you right now, Kuddy Kush, are you considering selling some of your stock, or are you going to just hold on for the, you know, and enjoy the ride, I guess? Yud3 Puka is following me here on TikTok. Thank you, Yud Puka. Appreciate that. Lorraine says eToro has a $117 target on silver, and you're up 9% now. Yeah, I thought I said $117. $117 was the high from yesterday. We were at $117 on silver yesterday, so I would say that's the first target here for silver. And silver, oh, that's right, silver is not moving because the market is closed for like an hour here. It will open back up again in like the next 10 minutes. We'll see what silver's gonna do next. Same thing with gold. Gold is not, you know, going up or down either. But the futures market will open up again in like the next 10 minutes here. So we'll look at gold and silver like probably in the next 10-20 minutes here. Lorraine says TQQ looks like it'll hit $60. Yeah, probably. HDZZ says, when is the dump over? And then Lorraine says, Damian, you're on MEXC and you're up 9%. Congratulations, Lorraine. Congratulations. I think my Bitcoin short is probably about to get, it's back at break even probably right now, or about to get stopped out. Let's see. Let's look at my shorts and longs here. I did do better trading earlier today, but right now I entered some fresh trades, and it looks like my long on Bitcoin is still down, and my short on Bitcoin is also down right now. I shorted Bitcoin at 89,200. I'm gonna go back to Bitcoin again. I want to see if are we gonna push up to higher prices here on the smaller time frames. Let me get into the charts here. Get into the 1 hour time frame. Bitcoin is still fighting this 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. It's gonna probably continue flagging out for now. So, you know, we're gonna see a battle between the longs, gonna put their stop losses below the bull flag, and then the shorts are gonna put their stop losses above the bull flag, and we just don't know who's gonna win until something happens there. Well, let's see what the momentum's showing here on the MACD. Buying pressure still strong, and here on the market cipher B, money flow is in the green here on the 1 hour time frame. So I think I'm gonna close out the short, or maybe take half off. I'll maybe take half off, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll still stay in the short just in case it does drop down for any reason here. But I think I'm going to take a little bit of margin off the short here. I have about $105 of margin here on the short. And this is trading on WEEX exchange. If you want to take a little bit off the table but still stay in the trade, you can click the close button here. And what you want to do is, when you click the close button, you got to enter a price, right? But you want to make sure, you know, you got to tell them you want to close half the position, 75% of the position, 100% of the position. I'm going to do half the position. I got 0.04 Bitcoin here, and I'm only going to close out 0.02. And then I click that. Hey, come on. What's the price? Oh, I got to pick the price. That's right, because I'm used to doing this on my phone, and when I do it on my phone, it does it as a market order, but I'll put the price. What was the price? 89,240 here. 89,000. Let's see. That's what I want. 89. Wait, where's my? I didn't do that. 89,000 to 230. How about that? And I'll click close. And I will close out half the position. And oh, there you go. It already went in. So my margin now, I have about $52 of margin on the Bitcoin short. So let's just let's look at the take profit stop loss. I believe yeah, my stop loss 89,700 here, and my take profit 87,300. I want to cancel that. I want to cancel that and cancel that. Yep, I'll cancel that. Yep, okay. And I just want to redo it again. So I was targeting 87,300, right? 87,300. So if we go down to 87,300, I'll make $44. I'll be up 85%. It's a pretty good, decent gain. Stop loss. I usually put about $500 above the entry. So 89,200 was where I had the original stop loss, but I don't know if I want to do that. Because if I do that, I'll lose about $11. I think Bitcoin might go up rather than down. So I think if we do go up to like 89,400, I want to get out. And I'll only lose about another $4 here if I get stopped out, right? So that's not bad. That's not bad, right? Confirm it, and there you go. I got a stop loss at 89,400 and a take profit of 87,300 for the Bitcoin short that I'm in. Now on my Bitcoin long, let's look at the TP and stop loss on that one. I was trying to take profit at 90,500, and if I'm able to do that, I will make about 53 bucks on the long. I'll be up 49%. And for the stop loss, it's at 88,800. I'll lose 28 bucks if we go down to 88,800. I think I might move the stop loss a little bit further up. I'm not sure. Maybe I leave it there. Maybe I don't. Let me look at the charts now. See if 88,800 is going to hold here for the long. I'll blow up the chart here. Zoom in, and you know, WEEX is pretty cool because they have like almost the same kind of indicators here as TradingView. And I know some people don't want to pay a subscription on TradingView, but you can get these indicators here if you're trading on WEEX. As long as you're trading on WEEX and you got an account set up with them, you can do those crazy indicators that I had, like the VRBP and all that other stuff here. You can do that, the moving averages, the MACD. You can do that all on trading on WEEX here instead of TradingView. But let's see, I want to get into the 5-minute time frame. 88,800 is where my stop loss is on my Bitcoin long. So we would have to like literally just drop, invalidate this higher low here, come down here to stop me out on my Bitcoin long. I think this is fine. 88,800. We're about like $400 above that right now. We're like 89,269 right now here on Bitcoin. And then I got my stop loss on my short here at 89,400. If we actually push up, we would hit this previous candlewick high on the 5-minute time frame. If we push past that, then I don't want to be shorting Bitcoin anymore, because I think Bitcoin wants to go up rather than down, and if that's the case here. And I'd rather just let the long make me money instead of the short, you know, losing me money. Well, let's see. I said we could do a VRP. I have to see. Are we able to do a VRP indicator here? If I click on indicators here, and I type in VRVP here on WEEX, no, okay. I thought we could. Maybe if I type in volume profile. Oh no, it's there. So you can do the VRVP indicator here on WEEX, Laureen. If you have a WEEX trading account, you can do the VRVP indicator just like I have on TradingView, and you don't have to pay TradingView because you're already paying money on WEEX. Every time you do a day trade, you're paying trading fees. So they're already getting money for you trading on them, and they want you to trade with them. So here, they're willing to give you free indicators as the part of them saying thank you for trading on their exchange here. So I got the VRVP indicator here. And the way I set up the VRVP indicator, I like to have the row size at 240. So like right now it's at 24. If I type in another 0, this is what it does to the indicator. And you can see like, I can see like better gaps in the indicator. Like there's a gap here, volume node, some gaps here. Probably be a little bit better if I was on like the 4-hour chart or the daily chart. You see it probably more pronounced here. But yeah, you can see like, here on the VRV indicator, you can see like, there's a volume node here at 95K. Some more at 94,600, which we already said was where we think, Bitcoin could get rejected. You got some more high volume nodes here. So like you got the VRV indicator here. And if I go back into that indicator one more time, look at the settings here. I want to make sure I got the value area low and high in there. Oh, it doesn't got that. It doesn't have that. But it has the POC. So the POC, I usually like to make that blue on the chart. So there you go. I got the POC in there. So POC is the highest volume node is the POC. That's sitting at 90,200. Lorene says you're up 12% on XAG. Okay, so I guess silver's still trading on MEXC right now. Let's see what MEXC's looking like. This is what MEXC looks like. This is another cryptocurrency exchange that I trade on, guys. Is MEXC. And Lorene is trading silver futures here. You can trade silver on MEXC. And the fees, there's no trading fees. Look at that, $0 fees on silver. That's one of the cool things about MEXC is that you can trade some of these cryptocurrencies and even gold and silver for free, because they want you trading on them. They rather have you just trade, and then they can charge you when you trade other things. Like, if you trade Ethereum right now, you're gonna pay trading fees. If you trade Bitcoin, you're gonna be paying fees. But if you trade like River or Solana, there's 0 fees on the trading fees on MEXC. And then silver and gold, 0 fees. So that's pretty cool. And then as far as leverage goes, you can do 500x leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can do 300x leverage here on Solana. So let's look at silver right now. Maureen says she's up 12% on her silver trade. And I like the chart set up here on MEXC as well. It's a little bit different than WEEX, but I'm not sure which one I like better. I think because I started doing MEXC first, I think I like MEXC better. I'm still getting used to WEEX, but they're both good. I like the fact that you can do a VRVP indicator on WEEX. Can I do that here on MEXC? Let's just check that for the indicators here. I don't think I can. I don't think they let me do that. Yeah, I feel like I would have already stumbled upon that VRVP indicator for MEXC. I feel like I would have looked at that before trying to get on the chart here, but I don't think I can do a VRVP indicator. So that's the cool thing about WEEX. At least on WEEX, you can do a VRVP indicator, right? We got that VRVP indicator here on WEEX. Still a very powerful, useful indicator to be using. But you can't do that here on MEXC, or at least I haven't. If you can, I haven't figured it out yet. Let's see. Jojo says you're in a similar Bitcoin short. Must have got in just before you at 89,265. Yeah, 89,260 was a level to be looking for on Bitcoin. Let me go back to the 1 hour time frame here. There was a moving average there. Let me get rid of the VRVP indicator here. But you can see this 200 moving average, this red line here. I know I got a bunch of red lines here, but this red line that's kind of trending downward was the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. And that's where I decided to enter a short on Bitcoin. I just put the stop loss at 89,400 or 500, somewhere around there. And if Bitcoin stops me out, then it probably means it wants to go up rather than down. But we could also see on the MACD indicator that the MACD is strong, where we could see Bitcoin go up to higher prices. So I'm not very confident in that Bitcoin short. That's why I took a little bit off the short. Like I took 50% off the short because I'm like, things are looking like Bitcoin wants to go up, not down tonight. Oh, Lorene said she got stopped out of her silver long, and now she got back in again because her stop loss was a little bit too tight. Hey, that happens. You know, it's all part of trading, Lorene. You are getting further down your trading journey here. I'm glad to see that you learning how to get back in the trades again after you get stopped out. Jay says, can I check Redwire? Looks like it still wants to go higher. Okay. And Jojo says you're in a small Bitcoin short. Yeah, me too. I would like to short Bitcoin again if it goes up to 90,500. Abe says you don't see the indicator link. The link for what? You can just tell me what you mean by that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna look at Redwire here for Jay. Redwire Corporation. So I believe this is the stock that you're looking for. It's an aerospace and defense stock. Manufacturing and supply space equipment. Okay. So they like kind of involved with SpaceX and what was the company that well, yeah, SpaceX, NASA, and what Blue. What was the company that Amazon, that Jeff Bezos, he was getting involved in space too. But anyways, we're looking at Redwire Corporation. They're involved in selling space stuff to whoever wants to go in space. Let's get into the daily time frame here. Good chart to get started on. You're above the 200-day moving average after being below it earlier in December and November of last year. You're above it. That's good to see. If I saw this, I would be like, all right, you're no longer in a bear market. You're now in a bull market because you're above the 200-day moving average. And not only did you get above it, but you tested it. Yeah, you kind of lost it here a little bit. But you came up above. You retested again one more time on Monday just to make sure that this is now support. And now you're off to the races. You're in an uptrend. You're making higher highs and higher lows here on the daily time frame. You got above the high here in October. So that's good to see. And then I guess you're going to probably run up with some problems here at like 16 bucks, and probably $20 is going to be another area that could be a take profit target. I'm going to throw in the VRVP indicator, see what the VRVP indicator has to say about things here. The value area, you got the value area high, this white line, the value area low, this other white line. Anything in between the high and the low is the value area. And you're above it, so because you're above it, you're actually considered overvalued. I would rather see the value area above us, and I see this thing would be undervalued, but right now you're considered overvalued. Majority of the people that bought this stock since July of last year, they bought it at lower prices, so everybody's in profit for the most part that bought it in the last year. Which means that, you know, if anybody's going to come and buy it now, they'll immediately sell it if they're losing, and then you won't get support until you get at least at the value area high sitting at 1226, and then you got a high volume note here at $11.10. So this is your first support areas, $11, and then $12 is your support for now for Redwire. $11 is also kind of where that 200-day moving average is at. So that's going to be support for sure. Someone's going to look at that and say, oh, I want to buy at the 200-day moving average. So support is below you at 11 and 12 bucks here from what I'm seeing with Redwire. Let me zoom out some more and try to get some data over here. And looking at the VRVP indicator, once again, the value area is still below where the current price action is at. You do got a volume note here at 1680. I did say like 16 bucks is where you should probably take some profit. And then, I don't know. Like, there's not really much high volume at 20 bucks, but 20 bucks was where you topped out in July of last year. And then June of last year, you topped out at like 22 bucks. So, I mean, if you're targeting the wick highs here, 20 bucks and 22 bucks is another idea to take profit on Redwire. But There's no high volume. There's not that much volume. Most of the people that bought this stock, they bought it at below 13 bucks here. The majority of them bought at this POC at like 7, 8 bucks here. So, okay. Lots of support below you, but you don't have that much resistance. I see some at 16 bucks and I see some at 20 bucks. Maybe this thing does want to go off for the races here. Because you don't have that much volume above you for resistance. Okay. That's interesting. And then now I want to look at the MACD indicator here. Do you have the momentum to continue going up to higher prices here? Buying pressure has been pretty strong since November, the end of November of last year. You got the MACD crossover here to the upside, and then it's just been up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right, and you still got the buying pressure. When the buying pressure does die down, it starts increasing again. So MACD says you could go to higher prices here. Market cipher B. Money flow was in the negative back in the end of November. Then money flow went into the green. It kind of agrees with the MACD that, you know, we've been going up and to the right in higher prices here. But you do have an RSI indicator here on the MACD, and it's showing that you have been overbought. You got overbought around here in January 12th. You got a top signal here. You did get a green buy knot recently, but that could get canceled out but with a red sell knot, and maybe even another top signal. So just be careful, you know, like we should be considering taking profits when we start seeing these top signals here. You could get multiple top signals before this thing actually starts crashing down, but just know, like, hey, you know, you're getting your caution light, you know, just like you would on your car. You got the check engine light coming on saying, hey, check engine. In this case, it's like, hey, check your profits. You might want to take some profits right now, is what this thing is telling us right now. Because, yeah, you know, you've seen this, like, where back in, you know, in 2024, this thing was like, top. We're about to be bearish here. We're about to be bearish. And then, of course, like, you know, then you see the thing come down here on market cipher B. And then market cipher B works the other way around, where when you get oversold, it's like, you're bottoming. You're bottoming. You should be bullish. You got like a little cow, a little bull here, saying that, you know, when you see, especially when you see a green buy dot, and right below these green horizontal lines here, this is the oversold RSI indicator on the market cipher B. When you get a green buy dot and it's below both of those green lines, that's like, yo, that is money. That is like probably the bottom of whatever this asset is. Okay. And let's see, last time, if I can like just close this up and close this one out, and if I can just bring this up to the top here, I want to see, last time you bottomed out and you got a green buy dot here was like November of last year, November 17th. You could have bought it at $5 had you listened to that green buy dot below the green horizontal bars. That would have been an awesome area to at least take a chance, take a risk, and try to buy the stock. And you would have been rewarded very well. You would have been more than double. You would have been tripling your money by now had you listened to that green buy dot and those bottom signals and this little bull here saying, hey, time to be bullish. But right now, it's not time to be bullish. It's time to maybe consider taking profits here, because you're getting these top signals, and you're probably getting a little top signal if you go up to higher prices. And then you might see the bear show up here saying, hey, we're looking bearish now. You should click the sell button. You should probably, you know, if you don't want to sell your stock, maybe you could do the next best thing. You could sell covered calls. You could sell call options. And then watch those options expire worthless as the price goes down, but you didn't have to sell your stock, and you didn't have to take a hit on your taxes. And you can make money selling call options on the stock instead of selling it. Just some things to think about here. I used to do options back in the day myself. You're welcome, Jay Shareem. Now when I do options, I just like to sell calls if I can, or maybe sell put options. And I like to buy the stock whenever I can. APO has followed me here on TikTok. Thank you for following me, APO. And I see you, Cookie. Cookie says, hey, dude. I see you. Let's go ahead and try to smash that like button. We're at 11,000 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 12,000 likes here. And I'm just trying to see what my stats are looking like. I got 15 new followers here on TikTok. Hopefully I might have done the same here on... Well, no, I know on YouTube I don't get as many followers, as many subscribers as I do followers on TikTok, but maybe I got 1 or 2 subscribers here on YouTube. That'd be nice. If you guys are new to the channel, by all means, please click that subscribe button so you can see me show up again on your YouTube feed. My TikTok guys, if you're new here, for damn sure you gotta follow me, because there are some Meet Damian scammers out there. There's, you know, they're not me, but there's other people out there that are pretending to be me. And I suggest you click on my profile picture right now, up the top left, and go ahead and click the follow button. Because other than that, you know, you might get someone who's trying to pretend to be me and trying to take your money. And I'm not trying to take your money, guys. Okay, if someone says, you know, they're Meet Damian, they start asking you, they start messaging you first. Like, I won't message you guys first. I'll wait until you guys message me, because I got so many messages from other people that I've made friends with on TikTok and YouTube. I don't just randomly message, you know, random people on TikTok. So if they're messaging you first, that's not me. So you need to follow me here, and then you can message me, and then I'll say hello or whatever. How's your day going? What kind of stock you want to get into today? What kind of crypto you want to get in today? We can talk about that. But if you guys also want to talk to me, you can talk to me on Twitter. There is a Meet Damian Twitter, and there is a Meet Damian Discord. Let me see if I go into TikTok. For you TikTok guys, you know, you can find it here. I just created a link tree finally, so you guys can just click on this link here where it says link tree for Meet Damian. And I'm waiting for this thing to load up. Where are my videos here? Come on. Alright, but yeah, this is the Meet Damian TikTok page. Come join the 6,245 followers here. Maybe we can get up to like 7,000 soon. And then if you click on the link tree, you should get this website, and it looks like this. That's the Meet Damian link tree. And you can see that there's a Discord server, and there's a Meet Damian YouTube, and a Meet Damian TikTok, and a Meet Damian Instagram. You can say, come follow me on Instagram if you want. You can follow me here on Twitter if you got that. You can also follow me here on Facebook. I have a Meet Damian Facebook as well. And then if you want to come trade with me on the same cryptocurrency exchange, there is a link here for WEEX. You can sign up and log on and do WEEX exchange. But for you guys who want to like get a hold of me when I'm not on the live stream, I definitely think it's a good idea to do this Meet Damian Discord server. Free to join, doesn't cost you anything. And you can ask me about anything you want on the Discord. This thing will load up here. But yeah, this is the Meet Damian Discord here. And we've been talking about our trades today. I tell you when I go live, and you can always watch the replay on YouTube here with the YouTube link. But yeah, we've been talking about our trades here. I've been talking about Bitcoin, going, you know, longing and shorting Bitcoin. Just trading the ranges here. I was trading off of the 100 MA on the 1 hour time frame. We've already talked about that on this live stream here. But I was showing guys here what I was doing here with the buys and the sells. The buying basically the low for the day, and then selling when we get up to the 100 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. And that's what I was doing here earlier today. So, and then, you know, once you guys make your money, you can actually go ahead and brag about your gains here. Where we see Michael here did a 20x leverage on Axie Infinity, went up 212%. I don't mind you guys bragging about your gains here, because you know what? This is a lot of hard work trying to long or short an asset, and then stay in the long and stay in the short, and actually move your stop loss and not get, you know, knocked out early out of the trade. Like, it's a lot of work, but you know, you guys should be celebrating all that hard work here. And I don't mind you guys, you know, posting up your gains here. And there's a lot of good traders out here besides myself who are posting up their gains. There's me up 117%, up $142 on PAX G, which is a trade on gold. You know, here's Tony up 127% on a 34x short. Okay, and yeah, you know, we just go ahead, and it's not just me. There's other traders here. That's the benefit and the value of coming onto the Meet Damian Discord, is you're talking to other traders besides myself who've been in it for years now, and we're over here just sharing our thoughts and sharing our ideas here. And we also share when we do trade setups, you know, like what's the next best idea for a long or a short. We got the trade setups here, where we look at the charts and we try to figure out what is going to be the take profit, what's going to be the stop loss, what's going to be the entry, all that good stuff here. And then of course, you know, if you guys want to support me, I am affiliated with MEXC. Okay, if you click on this link here, this is on the Meet Damian Discord. I gotta add that onto the link tree, but the Meet Damian Discord has a link here to join MEXC. Is one of the exchanges that I trade on. And then also here we got the link for WEEX exchange here. If you use that code XVDP, that's gonna get you the bonuses. They have up to like $30,000 of bonuses, where you get like basically free trades to do leverage trading on WEEX here. And then I got a link here for Coinbase as well, and a link here for Kraken. And then, you know, for you guys who are trying to use TradingView, maybe TradingView makes a lot of sense to you, and you want to, you know, use the same kind of indicators that I use, you can do like monthly subscriptions, and you can do even a yearly subscription on TradingView. And I got the link here. This is a discount code, $15 off your subscription for TradingView here. Okay, so you might want to check that out here, and that's on the Meet Damian Discord. Oh, my YouTube guys, you're not able to see this. Oh my god, what? It launched the YouTube app, but it didn't really. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Let's see if I can get this to show up here on YouTube. I'm sorry about that, YouTube guys. I was doing all that work, and you guys didn't get a chance to see what the Discord looked like. But this is the Discord, and then over here is the referral links here. That's for MEXC. We got one for WEEX, one for Coinbase here, and one for TradingView. And over here, we like to brag about our gains, because it's a lot of hard work being a successful trader, a profitable trader. And we got a bunch of other traders besides myself who are absolutely killing it. Like Cameron, one of our best traders here, up 754% on a 125x short on auction. And then up, you know, 212% on a 150x short on Litecoin. He's not afraid to do that leverage there. I wouldn't suggest that for beginner traders. I would say 20x leverage or less than that. But then you also got me here, up 117% on a 40x long on PAXG. I don't do crazy leverage. Well, sometimes I do if it makes sense, but like for like Bitcoin and gold, I like using 40x leverage. And you can see I did like $142 on that long here earlier this weekend on PAXG, where I got in at $44,956, and I sold it for like $5,100. So there you go. Pretty cool stuff, right? All right. Let's see. Yeah, Lorena, I saw that. I made that mistake. I thought like when I clicked the link that it would put us over on the Discord. My TikTok guys were able to see it, but YouTube didn't get the chance to see it, but now you can see it. And now you can see the charts right now. Jojo says you're gonna have to use a decentralized exchange for now. Okay. Well, I do have WEEX. WEEX is pretty cool because they don't do KYC, and WEEX doesn't. You know, they're not gonna require you to use a VPN either. You can get started with them with just an email. So you might want to look into that. And the code is right there on the screen. You see the XVDP code front and center. If you join WEEX, you can use that code to get the bonuses here. And that link is also should be in the description to this video, and it's also in the description to my YouTube channel as well. If you go into like the Meet Damian YouTube here channel, you just click on the description here, and then you got the link for WEEX right there. And I also got the other links here as well. Cool stuff. You say that WEEX is banned in the UK. Huh. That's interesting. You could probably get around with that. You could probably get around that with a VPN. Just saying. I'm not sure if it's banned in the UK. I'm pretty sure, you know, if you make money on the exchange, you can still report to the IRS, or I don't know what the regulatory body is in the UK, what their name is, but you can report your taxes, because it's like the same thing here in America. It's not banned in the UK. It's just that WEEX won't allow, or I guess I know MEXC as well. They won't do business with UK customers. So it's not that it's banned. It's just that the exchanges don't want to follow the rules of the UK, so they just don't. If they see that your IP address is from the UK, they're not gonna let you log on to the website. But you can get around that by doing a VPN. And if you do the VPN, you know, it's nothing illegal. You're just logging onto the account like if you were in like another country, like France or, you know, Costa Rica or Canada or Mexico or whatever, and you just set your VPN to a different country, and you can start trading on the exchange. And then as far as like reporting taxes, you just report the taxes as if it's just any other stockbroker or a cryptocurrency exchange. You know, that is allowed in the UK. Nasir says he doesn't use a VPN and it still works. So I mean, I think you just give it a shot. You might not even need a VPN for WEEX, because I don't need to use a VPN. And I have a guy over at WEEX that that I do video calls with. I know one of the guys that works at WEEX, and if you have problems with your account, you can tell me, and then I will let him know, and we'll get your account back up and running again. So you don't have to worry about, you know, getting locked out of your account or anything like that. We can fix those account issues for you over here at the Meet Damian community here. So yeah, I have a guy, and he's on Discord too. So he's, you know, he sees what's going on, and you can talk to him on the Discord if you do have any issues with your account. Okay. So we got your back here. We got your back here in the Meet Damian community. The Meet Damian channel here. Oh, Nasir says you were talking about MEXC. Well, you know, I know what WEEX doesn't. They're open to business for a lot of people here. MEXC is a little bit more stringent. They got more strict requirements. I actually do have to use a VPN when I'm here in America and logging on to the MEXC account. So, but MEXC will allow you to do, if you do like if you get citizenship in another country, you can do KYC with them, as long as like, you know, not America or Canada, then or UK, I guess in this instance. Yeah, you can actually do KYC with MEXC. And they also, I have another guy that I work with from MEXC, and he suggests that you get the Palialu ID, and if you get that citizenship with the Palialu, which is like a country in like somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, you can get like a residency over there, and you don't even have to go there. You just, you know, give them money, and they give you the residency card. And well, I just got a notification my stop loss on my Bitcoin short got triggered. I got stopped out on my Bitcoin short, but I'm still in the Bitcoin long, so that should be a-okay. Jojo says, don't worry, you're moving soon. The UK government's a joke. Oh, there you go. So you can go ahead and start an account with WEEX right now, and it'll be ready to go. So when you're ready to start trading, you can start trading on WEEX and MEXC as well. So I would still try to, you know, set up an account right now if you can, and you know, when you're comfortable to do so, you can just send money over to the exchange and start trading with them. Or you don't even have to send money. You can actually set up an account and do a demo account and actually get familiar with all the buttons and what the, you know, what to push here on MEXC. Like if you go on MEXC, like there's a lot to look at here. Unless you've done like, you know, day trading on other platforms here, it might make sense to just go over and do a demo account first to get familiar with, you know, trading on the platform here for MEXC. You know, if I go over here to futures, I can click on demo trading here, and you can just practice with free money. Just practice your day trades here, practice your strategies, and they let you, you know, on the demo account, you can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Silver, yeah, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and you just practice, and you can, and if you blow up your account. Right now I have like 50,000 USDT on the demo account. You can always just claim more money, right? Right now it's not going to let me claim because you can only claim up to 50 grand on the demo account. But if your demo account, if you blow it up, like if you somehow lose 50 grand, you can always go back and add 50 grand again. You're using Kraken, okay. Jojo, yeah, if you know, you can get a VPN and change your. I use NordVPN, and I probably got to add the my referral code there for NordVPN. But NordVPN is pretty good, and I can change my country to like Canada, Mexico, Colombia, France. I can be England if I want to. I think Ireland is on there too. Also countries in Asia. There's a whole bunch of countries you can change your country to. Yeah. Alright. Nasir says you sent me a message. I'll have to check it out after the live stream's over. Cookie says, Damian helps us make money. Yep, that's what I'm trying to do here. Either that or the next best thing, I'm trying to help you guys avoid losing money if I can. That's like the next best thing. So I was trying to get into a silver long if the price of silver dropped down. Did it drop down on us? What is silver doing here on MEXC exchange? $111.58. I was trying to see if I could get into silver at 110 bucks. What is the MACD doing here? Oh, I don't got the MACD up on this chart here. Let me look at the trading view real quick here, see what silver's doing. We're now trading. Silver was closed between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time is when those markets close. They take like an hour break and then they go back to trading again. And let's see, on the 15-minute time frame for silver, I want to see the MACD. Yeah, buying pressure is dying down here on the 15-minute time frame. So I think, you know, maybe I could get into a silver long at 110 bucks or 108 bucks. And what I'm targeting is, I'm targeting like the moving averages below us at, you know, this blue line. This is 100 moving average at 110 bucks roughly. I could try to buy some silver there, and then also maybe buy some more at this 200 moving average. And the game plan is that we were going to try to buy at 110 bucks roughly. Put the stop loss at like 108 bucks. And then we were trying to target $117. And that's going to give us a risk reward ratio of 3.5. The $117 idea comes from, like, you know, we saw silver at $117 yesterday. So if this thing is going to continue making a run up to higher prices here, then, you know, I think we will see 117 again. And I like to, you know, risk 1.8% to try and get 6.4%. And I can do a 20x leverage long, and I'll be risking about 36% to try and get like 128%. So let's do that in MEXC right now. I think we could go down to 110 bucks, but I think I could also get filled at 108 bucks. So I'm gonna break the order into two. So I'm gonna like put a little bit of margin in at 110 bucks. I'm doing a limit order here on MEXC exchange. Right now I'm trading silver on MEXC here, guys. But I don't want $111 silver. I want $110 silver. I like to do $50 a margin for this one if I can. So this is where I can change the margin here. I can do the entire account at 100%, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do like 9% or about $50 a margin here. And I like to game plan my take profit stop loss, which I already did with you guys. So all I gotta do is type in the number. We're gonna try to take profit at $117. At $117, my long will give me 129 bucks. I'll be up 254%. But is that? Make sure the leverage is right. I actually wanted 20x leverage. Yeah, because I already did the numbers in my head. I want 20x leverage on this one, so that might mess things up here a little bit. Still at 110 bucks for a limit order. Still using 9% margin of the account. $50 a margin here. Now, if we do up to 117 bucks, I'll make $64 on the trade. I'll be up 127%. That sounds about right. Yeah, usually I like to take profit. I like to hit 100% gains when I can. So I adjust the leverage so that way I can get at least 100% on my take profit here. And then the stop loss was going to be 108. Now at $108, I will lose $18 on the stop loss. And I'll be down 36%. I'm okay with that. Most of the time, I'm okay with losing $20 on a trade. Okay. I'm losing about $18 possibly if I get stopped out to try and make $64. That's a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio right there. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna hit long on that one. And now remember, I'm breaking up the order into two points here. So there's my long at $110, ready to go. If the price does go to 110 bucks here. And now I'm going to try to see, could I buy it at 108 bucks? Maybe I'll try 108.25 because I don't know if we're actually going to hit 108 on the dot. So 108.25 is an idea. I'm going to do about another maybe 9% of margin here. That's about $51 a margin. And take profit's still going to be $117. I'll make $83 on this this long here. I'll be up 161%, which would be nice. And then the stop loss is going to be probably like $2 less than the entry. So $106. And at $106, I'll lose $21. I'll be down 41%. But I'm okay with losing $20 on a trade. So I'm basically doing two longs here. Because I just don't know if I'm going to get filled on one or the other. Or maybe I get filled on both of them. But I just double check my work here. Take profit at 117. Stop loss at 106. I'm going to get in at 108.25 here. With $50 a margin. I'm cool with that. So all together, I'm using about $100 a margin here. To do a long on silver. If silver does come down, I think we could make a higher low, bounce off 110. Maybe we come down to 108 and then bounce up and go to higher prices here. Ooh, Lorraine, you're saying that they won't let me share. They won't let you share my Discord link here. That's interesting. Yeah, TikTok is being difficult right now. They're being difficult with me this week. Because I got restricted on Sunday, so they're slowing things down here. But I'm glad I got 10 people on the live stream here on TikTok. I think I've seen it get as high as like 20 before. And we had a pretty good stream here on YouTube as well. I had a lot better stream today than I did yesterday. Tomorrow, guys, I'm going to try to go live a little bit earlier from like 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. So be on the lookout for that. So there you go, Lorene. I know you like those earlier streams, so you can watch it without the kids harassing you. But yeah, we'll do an early stream tomorrow, 12 to 2 p.m. And then I'll try to go live 4 to 6 p.m. on Thursday. Yeah. And that live stream is going to be right before the Federal Reserve tomorrow. The Federal Reserve is tomorrow, and they're going to give us a decision on interest rates. They're expected not to change interest rates. They're not going to go increase or decrease interest rates. But if they do, that'll be a surprise to the market. There's like a 95% that they're going to keep it the same. So, well, I think what the market's going to be paying attention to is if Jerome Powell, if he gives any hint that they might do another interest rate cut in like February or March. I think the next meeting is going to be in March. I think they skipped February. And then they're gonna look to see, like, you know, what are their thoughts about inflation and the jobs market. And, you know, if they think the jobs market is weak, then that could be a signal that they might lower interest rates again. And if they think inflation is under control or maybe going lower, then that could be a signal that they're going to lower interest rates as well. And that would be good for the market if they actually lower the interest rates. The indicator algo on YouTube says, you see me that I'm using the RSI, MACD, and multiple EMAs. You built a trading view indicator that replaces that stack, and you're offering a 30-day trial. Affiliate options are also available. Well, you have to send me an email. I do have a Meet Damian email. See, I should be here on YouTube, I think. Yeah, you can email me there at meetdamian21@gmail.com. Okay, and we can talk about your indicator and any affiliation here. All right. Mara says, bet everything, don't be scared. Yeah. I should go 100% margin with no stop loss, right? And go like 100x leverage on, or even more if I can, right? Just YOLO the trade, right? No, I don't do that. That's not part of my risk management strategy here. I use stop losses, and I don't use 100% of my account on any trade, and my stop losses are usually about like 1 or 2% of the account. So I'm only going to lose 1% or 2% of the account if I get stopped out. Senex08, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Mar8ball says Bitcoin. Alright, so we'll finish off on Bitcoin, and then that's going to be the end of the live stream here. I did finally get into a trade. I got into a trade on silver. Let's see. No, I actually didn't. I'm waiting for silver to come down to 110 bucks, but I don't know if it's gonna hit. All right, but I am in a long on Bitcoin, so you know we'll make some money on Bitcoin tonight if Bitcoin goes up. Is Bitcoin actually gonna go up? We see Bitcoin at 89,288 here on Coinbase Exchange. I'm on the 50-minute time frame. MACD indicator shows that buying pressure is dying down, so I don't know if we're gonna go up on Bitcoin in the next hour or two here. MACD indicator does not have a crossover to the downside, but if this thing crosses over to the downside, then I would expect you know, Bitcoin to go down in price for sure. You don't have that on the 50-minute time frame. Let's see what the 1 hour time frame is looking like. 1 hour time frame looks fine. Buying pressure is still strong, and you're not getting any curvature to the downside. 30-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame, buying pressure is starting to die down here on the 30-minute time frame. So it's only the 15-minute time frame that's a little bit worrying right now, where you know maybe we might see lower prices in the next hour or two for Bitcoin. But on the 1 hour time frame, it's looking solid. I think we will see maybe 90K for Bitcoin, and that's where I'm taking profit on my Bitcoin long if we're going to actually go up to higher prices here. I got 90,500 as my target to the upside here. That's using the VRVP indicator. And then also using the VRVP indicator, 91,400 is another area where we could take some more profit on Bitcoin. And I gotta go into the daily time frame to show you where that VRVP indicator agrees with this stuff. But if I turn the VRVP indicator on, you'll see these high volume nodes are over here, and I highlighted them with the red horizontal lines here. 90,500 first take profit target, 91,400 second take profit target. If for some reason we come up to 94K, 94,400. We do have a high volume node here, and we also got the 50-day moving average, which could knock us back down again. Okay, and also here at 91K, 91,400, we got the 21 EMA that could knock us back down to lower prices here. So 90,500 is an idea. You'll still make, you know, decent money going from 89K down up to 90,500. That's like almost like a 1%, 2% gain, which, you know, with 40x leverage, 50x leverage, that's like 50%. 100x leverage, that's like 100% gain. But I think another likely target to the upside that could get hit tomorrow is 91,400 for Bitcoin. Is an idea here for a long, and I think later on tonight, tomorrow, Bitcoin does want to go up, unless it just wants to go sideways, and that's another possibility. I don't know if Bitcoin's going to go lower, but because we're over here at the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, this 200 moving average has put a lid on us. It's prevented us from going up to higher prices right now. And right now we're kind of like bullishly consolidating. We're probably making a bull flag. It might look something like this, where we just continue making highs at 89,300, and then maybe we just make higher lows going back up to 89,300, and we might be making like a pennant here or a bull flag. And if this is a bull flag here for Bitcoin, I don't know, do I want to measure from here? Actually, let me just measure from the bottom here. So if we do have a bull flag here, I'm going to try to sound like Crypto Lifer. Anybody here know Crypto Lifer? But this could be a bull flag to the upside if we take this measured move, this flagpole, we put it up to like where we could break out right now at 89,300. We could see Bitcoin go up to 91,400. The bull flag agrees with the red horizontal line that I drew out here, which also, you know, is confluent with the 21 EMA on the daily time frame. So I think 91,400 is your target to the upside for Bitcoin, based on multiple things that I'm seeing here on the charts. Alright guys, that's it for this live stream. I wish you guys the best of luck on whatever asset you decide to trade. You can always find me here on the Meet Damian live stream here on YouTube and TikTok. You know, there's my YouTube channel there. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And then you can follow me here on TikTok as well. And you got my link tree there. You get all my links. And if you click on my link tree, you'll see this. And you got my Meet Damian Discord right there, free to join. You got the Meet Damian YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook. And then also you can start trading on WEEX. Easy to set up. Just use your email. There's no VPN required, and they don't do KYC unless you want to do KYC. So there you go, guys. I wish you guys the best of luck in whatever you decide to do. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on an earlier live stream between 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time, before I have to do some other things besides day trading here. Okay? Alright, guys. That's going to be it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. And before I end the live stream, let me just give out this one more shameless plug for WEEX here. When you join WEEX, make sure you're actually using that referral code there, XVDP, or else I don't get credit for the referral. And you won't be able to take advantage of some of the bonuses that are exclusive to the Meet Damian community here. So make sure you got the XVDP in the promo code field when you actually sign up for WEEX here. Alrighty. Look forward to seeing some more traders trading on WEEX. Take care, guys.